Right, just making this video to get all this out of my head. Right, number one, we lost my father-in-law because he couldn't get treated for cancer because they kept giving the excuse that he was in a vulnerable group and he'd caught the lurgy. So by the time he finally got to go for his follow-up scan after his radiotherapy for colorectal cancer, he was at stage 3 when he got the radiotherapy. They double dosed him. Yeah, he should have got seen in the March for a follow-up. This would be March 2020. He should have got seen to see how it progressed or not progressed, or whether the radiotherapy had worked, or whether it was safe enough now to operate. Whether it shrunk enough so they could go in and cut it out. It was vitally important, that appointment was kept, and they cancelled it on the grounds I've just explained to you. He died in August 2020, and it wasn't until the August they said he could go in, which was a piss take, weren't it? My missus had a fucking heart attack. Well, it wasn't an heart attack, turned out it wasn't, but it was a suspected heart attack. She had troponin in her blood, and it was down to broken heart syndrome. That's all they could put it down to. She had the MRIs, the angiograms, all that crap. She was in the hospital. I couldn't go in and see her. They wouldn't let me. She snuck down once to see me. I ended up, I sent her back up and said, don't do this again, because I weren't sure how poorly she were. She didn't have a clue how poorly she were. And there was, at that time, she hadn't had the angiogram and she hadn't had the MRIs, but it turned out that she did have the troponin in her blood, and it was through low platelets due to this severe depression, broken heart, carry on, which was to be expected, seeing as she'd lost her dad, and we'd had to care for him because they kicked everyone out of hospital late 2019. This was just before, around about Christmas time, just before the New Year, and they wanted to put him in a care home, and we said, fuck no, you can come and stay with us. So that's what happened. He left hospital with a stoma bag, and they sent someone round for the first 6 weeks, a rehabilitation team. So different carers would come every morning and at tea time to help him, customise himself to having a stoma bag instead of, what was previous, you could go to the toilet, but then this is, instead of, and take some getting used to. So they were really, really good, to be fair. The ones that come, they were good. Can't fault them. But the hospital kept cancelling his appointments for what I said. That he'd catch allergy and it was too dangerous for him to go in because he was vulnerable or whatever. That was their excuse. In the meantime, I was learning about ventilators were actually killing people, and also that they'd got enough fucking midazolam to give these pensioners that were DNR'd a good death, and it weren't just pensioners. I think anyone over, 50-year-old or something around about there, or might be 60, just got blanket DNR'd along with people with mental health problems. Either in hospital, if they needed hospital care, or they were in hospital, if you ended up in the grips of them bastards, they march you off. Saw all the marches, never went on one. Personally, I did my own thing with a paintbrush, writing messages in visible areas, and painting over a lot of propaganda and ripping it down wherever I saw it. I was fucking fuming. I'm still angry. I'm angry that these cunts will probably never be brought to fucking justice. I hope they will. I pray they will. Like I prayed for it to end. Like I cried when they said they were going to start injecting fucking kids and pregnant women. My daughter was pregnant at the time, and she's a carer. And they were saying if she don't get the fucking free stabs, so she's fucked. She ain't gonna have a job. Luckily she managed to take maternity leave, and she's gone out of it that road. And since then, they dropped all the bullshit. So it's not. She don't have to now. She's been right lucky. She's got to return to work next month. But anyway, my grandson was born in September 2021. best thing, you know, since fucking sliced bread, you know, so a real gift from God, you know, after all this nonsense, you know, that so much been taken away. My son nearly lost his fucking mind when my missus ended up in hospital. You know, he was beside himself, you know, he didn't fucking know what to do. Went to the doctor, he's given some fucking tablets, and anyway, he managed to pull his shit together now, and he's back on track, but... And then all the country screwed all the fucking money, out of furlough. You fucking cunts. You know, you're the same cunt who said to me when I didn't have a fucking job, yeah, oh, look at you fucking benefits crazy bastards, get a fucking job. Not that I couldn't, you know, just that I was on hard times, I didn't have a fucking job, not, you know, these Jerry Mikhail type wankers. And the same cunts who fucking screwed the shit out of furlough. I even know a kebab shop near me that put a fucking table and chair in and claimed first seated dining because you got an extra 10 grand or some nonsense. That's not bullshit, that's the story of, you know, I heard. Anyway, just want to say thanks to all the fucking brilliant channels that have been up, you know, on all of them, you know, Sheep Farm, Hugo Talks, James Delingpole, fucking Sanity for Sweden, even Kate Hopkins has been fucking great, really. Fucking Alex Belfield, but in a different way, because he crosses that bridge between us and them, you know, and for that, I've got to be grateful for anybody who stood up against it. And it's not that I agree with them all, but I don't mean to put them in the same category as Sheep Farm and Hugo Talks or the Rise Above Live boys, because they are really fucking cool, you know. But Alex, he's just in it for the fucking money, but he's still doing some good. And anyway, individually, everybody's done the fucking bit. And who'd have thought James Delingpole? Fuck me, you know, you'd have thought he was pure establishment. So thanks to all of yous. And there's probably loads of people I've missed out. Oh, I've got to say David Yates, Trish Cusworth, and a few others. They really helped, you know, really helped. So many people that stood up against the nonsense. Thanks to everyone who went on the marches. You know, I didn't, you know, personally. London's way too far away from me, and I couldn't be away from my family at the time. I was needed here. And charity begins at fucking home. So yeah, thanks a lot. And I just want to say fuck you to YouTube. Fuck you for deleting all my channels. Fuck you, and fuck you again. You're the fucking cunts peddling disinformation that costed people lives and killing them. So, yeah, stick that up your ass and smoke it. This was just to get everything off my chest, so it's not going round and round in my fucking head. Fuck knows what shit they're going to pull next. But I won't be falling for any of it. Yeah. Cheers.